All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the InforVest strategy session, and here to basically talk about the markets and what is happening today and what you can expect. And I don't know if I will make this public to everyone, but this is generally, if it does go public, this is something generally what I do for the private members is I create this video on strategy sessions and anything changing in the markets and giving my inputs and views on what to expect in the coming weeks or months or in a couple of days. So any market moving events, any major events, I mention it here, and I talk about it all on these videos. And you're free, you're free to ask any questions, send me questions, and I can cover those in a video as well. But yeah, so let's go further and let's talk about more about the markets. All right, so basically the S&P 500, we were expecting this did um, did collapse today. Didn't want to use that word. I think did dip a lot. Did sell off a lot, and so we mentioned this in the private Discord chat room where I said yesterday that today would be a make it or break it for equities. And it was really based on Powell, all based on the Federal Reserve, and because there's this whole notion of bond yields increasing. And this is not good because when you get yields increasing, you start to create tightening financial conditions, and equities don't like that. When you have higher yields, these treasury yields, these U.S. Treasury bonds, when those yields start to increase, they're the base, the benchmark of many of the bonds, corporate bonds, or loans that are out there in the market. So, for example, if we look at the 30-year on the U.S. Treasury 30-year bond is a benchmark for mortgage rates. Okay, and if we look back in 1988 up until now, yields have been going down, not up, down, and they follow this trend line very well. And we see here back in the COVID pandemic of March 2020, we had yields on the 30-year dip all the way to 0.81%, 0.82%. You can round that up. And now we see yield on the 30-year all the way up at 2.322%. We could reach to 2.7 or even a nice whole number of 3% where we crack above this trend line and then come back off. Now, today was crucial, crucial, crucial. And I mentioned this yesterday that it will all depend on Powell. And we were watching the markets because we were ready to go massively, massively long, but things have changed now, and just because of this new dynamic, this new piece of information that we have in the market, which is Powell, and the markets were basically so he came out around 12 o'clock today. Today is, I forgot to mention this, but today is March 4th, 2021. So if you're seeing this video later on, just note that that's the date today. So anyways, going back, he came out today around 12 o'clock and mentioned about his views on the markets. And traders and investors were hoping, not expecting, but hoping that Powell would come out and talk about either yield curve control or either buying, changing the duration on the bond purchases more on the long end to suppress long end yields, to push them down so that this tightening and this fear that is being created from the bond market into the equity markets is kind of evaporated. But that didn't happen, and he didn't come out, and the hopes and dreams of all these investors kind of faded, and they saw that he continued with the same rhetoric that he was talking about, that, oh, this is a good sign and we're in a recovery mode and yields are expected to go up. And he didn't mention anything about slashing them down or controlling them or suppressing them, which the market has been keeping an eye on, and this concept and this idea has been there since last year December, about suppressing yields. We were hoping that Powell would mention this in its last Federal Reserve meeting of last year, which was, I believe, in December, and he didn't mention that. Fast forward, we are now in March, and he's expected to also have another meeting this month, but this is a different meeting that happened today, and we were hoping that he would announce that today, going forward, and mention that he would suppress yields, and that hope was gone. So basically, what do we take from all this? Okay, yields are higher, bond prices are coming off, and equities are coming off. So going forward, when we look at the S&P 500, we see that we've been in this nice kind of channel since November of 2020. Okay, we've been rallying up, and we had a little bit of a dip here, and then we went back up, and we broke this kind of this support level here on the smaller trend line, this channel, and we broke the 20-day EMA. Sorry, give me a second. There's some stuff making some noises. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm doing this raw. I'm not editing the video, so you're gonna hear noises come and go, and I'll try to pause them or get rid of them as I can. Okay, anyways, going back. So yeah, equities have broken the 20-day EMA, and it did bounce off the 50-day EMA on February 26th, and we did bounce up. We did reach up to this trend line here, and then again we sold off, broke the 50-day EMA, and today, like I was saying, today was the day to make it or break it, and we broke the 50-day EMA, and we have this huge long-term trend line which we also broke, and we did reach to a low of 37.20, and we picked back up again, and we're now sitting above this trend line. Now, as a longer time frame investor, you would look at this and you would start picking up your favorite stocks, and start picking up the SPY and other equities that you like, because they're giving you basically a discount. Now, here's the issue. From a technical front, okay, this looks like a buy to me, right? You look at this technically. But from a fundamental point of view, it still doesn't add up, because you had Powell who didn't come out and calm the markets. And the markets are basically like this famous video I like to talk about, which is this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, this kid here, all right? This spoiled kid who gets everything, and even after getting everything, all the stimulus in the world, all the money in the world, all the quantitative easing in the world from the Treasury Department and from the Federal Reserve, getting everything from them, and still it's not enough. And basically what happens is she ends up throwing tantrums, just like how equities throw tantrums. So I'll play this video real quick so you have an idea what I'm talking about.
Here we go again.
All right, sweetheart, all right. Daddy will get you a golden goose as soon as we get home.
No, I want one of those.
Wonka, how much do you want for the golden goose?
They're not for sale.
Name the price.
She can't have one.
Who says I can't?
The man with the funny hat.
I want one. I want a golden goose. Gooses. Geeses. I want my geese to lay gold eggs for Easter.
It will, sweetheart.
At least 100 a day.
Anything you say.
By the way,
What?
I want a feast.
You ate before you came to the factory.
I want a bean feast.
One of those.
Cream buns and
Alright, you can watch this video yourself, but you get the idea, right? So this old man here is, you could say, Federal Reserve, Powell, and this girl here is the markets, asking for more. I want more, more, right? And that's what happened today. Today was that the equities were hoping for more from Powell, saying that yes, we're going to control yields. And if that happened, then man, we would have gone to 4,000 easily. But I think that's not the case. So we're going to have to play differently now. And we can expect, if this continues and yields increase, we can expect the sell-off continuing. Especially if we break this trend line here, we could see a 10% correction in the S&P 500, which would mean that it would come down to 35.50 around this mark. So almost close to the 200 EMA. And if we break that, then your next support level and psychological level is the 3,500 mark. So this area here is the area that could be, and I use the word could be, the real support level. And this area would be a great area to start adding on your favorite stocks. I'm not saying that adding here is a bad idea. You can continue, but I'm saying expect that we can continue to dip further just because of this whole scenario that has come out, and we can continue to see the S&P fall because Powell didn't give more to the crying kid, and S&P 500 is that crying kid. So how can you trade this? All right, so you have the SPY ETF. The same thing I talk about when it comes to S&P 500. We could see levels of, let's see here, 368. Then the next one could be at 364, and then possibly at $350 in the S&P 500. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ has already dropped about 11%. NASDAQ, I feel, is going to be one that's going to get punched real hard because it had a tremendous run, and we're going to see rotation from portfolio managers moving from tech stocks to the other stocks that have lagged during COVID. And so we've already dropped 10%. We could see 12,000, a possibility, which would make it about 12-13%. And if we break that, then the other support level of 15% is around the 11,600. So that's to monitor on NASDAQ, and you can play NASDAQ with the ETF, which is QQQ. So you could play a short on, if you're a day trader, through QQQ. And if you're a long-term investor, then you'll probably want to see levels where you can start picking up and purchasing. Bonds. So let's talk about bonds. There is a nice trade on bonds. So we're looking at here the long end. TLT is another ETF. Again, I look at this on the monthly. Bond prices have been going up as it's inversely related to yields. Could we see bond prices hit on this trend line to 123? Possible. So I would want to wait for rallies to short bonds, especially the TLT, and wait to hear if there's any changes, especially in the talks that come from the Federal Reserve meeting. So remember, this is valid until the Fed flips, until the Fed says that, okay, we're going to suppress yields. So for now, this theme, which we even talked about 1-2 weeks ago, or even in December, about shorting rallies, is a theme we've been talking for more than a month, and it's playing out, and it's playing out. So, so for bonds, TLT is one, and you could either short it or buy put options. TMF is another one. It's an Ultra 3X Bull 20 plus year bond. I'm looking at the futures market right now, and I'm seeing that bonds are kind of coming off, and we could see the TMF and TLT come off as well. So puts would be good. I don't want to chase this, because that's the one thing I hate doing, is chasing when it's already at lows. I need rallies in order to get into put options. And so yeah, look at that. Talk about the dollar. All right, I think we had some questions also. So this is the dollar on the monthly. We'll go on the daily. So the dollar since COVID-19 has been falling, and we're seeing now kind of a change here. We had a head and shoulders formation here, but it looks like that technical formation is now not valid, and it's breaking out. So we were bearish on this, and this completely changed just because of Powell, and we can continue to see the dollar rise, and which would mean that if you're looking to trade this, you could go for the UDN ETF, and you could short it or buy puts on this as the dollar falls, or you can find a bull dollar ETF. So again, this is the US dollar, and as bond prices continue to fall, we could see the US dollar continuing and rallying. Gold is another interesting play also. Gold, oh my gosh, I'll short this and then I got out and then short again. So gold is right there. Actually, it broke it. It broke the 1700 mark, which is right here. And it's right there, right at 1700. It's just fizzling and playing around there. So if we don't get anything else from Powell, then I feel gold can continue its downward spiral, especially if we don't get anything from Powell. So we could see gold reaching to, yeah, it could be 1600 to 1500 is the area that I would be interested in. So starting from 1600, I would say. Let me just do something else here. Where is it? Yeah, so 1600 mark would be an interesting area where gold could find support here. It could crack. So I would say between 1600 to 1555, so around there. So this area here would be interesting for gold as a potential support. Yeah, so that's something with a new trade that we were thinking about going long gold, silver, commodities. This will also affect Bitcoin just because this whole change with Powell. So let's look at silver. Oh, and before I forget, the gold ETF is GLD. I look at futures market a lot. Futures, they trade even overnight, 23 hours a day. So futures, GLD is one ETF you can look at. So you could either short it or you could buy puts on this. So we could see GLD come off, especially with the dollar rising. And I'm just going to see if I have any questions here. So just to follow up, I answered this question before, but just to have it here in the video, you don't think the US dollar is going to drop in value by June? Answered that. That's something else for our private members. How does the drop in equities affect the US dollar? So yeah, okay. So as equities come off, like I mentioned, this will spark a rise in the US dollar. So you can get put options and hold your put options for June. And if you think that the reversal is going to come soon. But like I mentioned, Powell is talking this month again. I think the date is March 16th, but don't quote me fully on that. But if, let's say, Powell completely flips 360, then yes, your dollar June puts are going to do well. Shorting the dollar makes sense. Going long gold makes sense. Going long silver makes sense. Going long Bitcoin makes sense. Going long TLTs makes sense. Going long TMF makes sense. Going long equities makes sense. Going long SPY makes sense. Going long QQQ makes sense. Going long NASDAQ, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Russell, everything you can think of makes sense. But until then, I don't see that happening right now until really equities cry and the bond markets really cry as well. Until Powell comes and does something, like I mentioned about this girl being equities and this guy being Powell. Until it really throws a tantrum, then you could see, okay, the Federal Reserve to come in. Let's look at Bitcoin. Okay. Nice, huh? Okay. So yeah, this will affect Bitcoin as well. If it acts like it's supposed to act. But it's possible that we could see Bitcoin continuing its we did break out of the trend line, so this might be a little difficult one, but we did break out of the trend line. We did come off today. So I would say is if we continue and we break around 45, we could see it come down to the 40,000 mark. Can it go lower? All depends on this equity sell-off and this rally in the dollar. But yeah, we could see Bitcoin continue its push lower, and then flip later on. But this one's, the reason why I say it's a difficult one is because Bitcoin is unique. It is a market where you have different traders in trading this. So it's not like your typical market where, okay, it makes sense how to trade bonds, it makes sense how to trade the US dollar, equities, and so on, and how it's all linked. Cryptocurrency is its own kind of beast, and it can do whatever it wants. Yeah, okay, macro-wise, I think that with all this happening, Bitcoin should fall. But, do crypto traders really care about all this stuff, all this macro stuff? Do crypto traders really watch it? And if all of them don't, and they don't care, then yeah, they can push Bitcoin up to 60,000 to 100K and so on. And this dip that I was talking about is done with. So we could come back here if, the macro fundamentals, if the macro fundamentals is respected, we could come down here, test the 50K mark, and then probably use this support line as a support and push back up higher. So that's possible. Bitcoin will also affect the blockchain stocks like Hive. So when you see a reversal in these, you could pick them up. Had Hive, I sold it. This was an interesting one. Also Riot. Oh my god. So this is another one. We could see it continuing its fall if Bitcoin falls. So you could get some interesting prices. Interesting discounts. Like I said, get ready for discounts. If they come, you take them. And let's talk about what else is there. I want to talk about oil. Talk about something today just quickly. Currency front, I talked about the dollar, and look at some weed stocks. So we're continuing this bearish reversal. We did have this stupid Reddit pump. It was stupid, just ruined everything. So I had to get out of my weed stocks, had to take profits, and now I'm looking to add as it comes off. Just messed everything up. But it's okay. We're here to capitalize and take opportunities. So anyways, could we see it push lower? For sure. If equities continue to fall, we could see $7. That's typical. That's possible. Not typical, possible. Tilray is another one. So yeah, we could push all the way down to this trend line of $12. But first we need to meet this mark of 19, see what it does. Then the next would be around here 12, and then around here 11.95. So yeah, 12 around here, 12 to 11.95 is the nice sweet spot. So that will be interesting. Weed. I mean, if Tilray and ACB is coming off, weed could come off as well. We could see this push lower. Okay, so weed, let's see. Same thing here. Could see weed come off to 32 around this level. Makes sense. And yeah, so let's look at oil now. Anyone who is in the oil trade or trades oil. Okay, so I mentioned this on the story. Look at this beautiful technical trend line, and on the monthly, and we see oil pushing up here, right there on the trend line at 64. Right now I'm looking at the futures market. It's closed, so it closed around 64.03, and we did see oil pump up. Had its nice push up here and right to the trend line, and it did sell off from 64.83 being the high, and it's picking up a little bit, but basically it's up on the back of the OPEC Plus meeting. We had OPEC come out and OPEC Plus talk about supply and production. And so the expectation was that in April they would increase production and increase supply, but that was not the case. They came out, changed the views of the markets, and said that, okay, we're going to continue our cuts into April. So we'll see what happens next month, what they say, and how they're going to position themselves. But my take is that this will change quite rapidly. Now I know, Goldman Sachs came out and he said, okay, we're going to see $100 prices in oil. I don't think so. I'm actually on the other side of the trade where I'm shorting oil because I see oil pushing back to lower prices. So the reason why I see oil prices pushing down lower is mainly because a couple of things. Number one, um, COVID, the vaccine and everything, COVID is kind of behind us, and it's starting to, you know, get better with the vaccines and all that. So we should see supply increase to come as COVID fizzles out and things go back to normal. Number two, I expect OPEC to lower its supply cuts and start raising productions coming forward. Number three, a lot of the OPEC members have started increasing productions already. And number four, you have OPEC plus members like Russia, who's not going to give up the opportunity of losing market share by cutting its supply. It's going to continue cheating its, mandate and continue to pump oil and not miss out on the market share just because of the situation. So, and you can see also other OPEC members do the same, especially as summer comes, we will see a shift, and that the increase of supply and the increase of productions and OPEC members cheating on its cut mandate, and with also COVID starting to vanish, and also technically on our the prices right there on our trend line. When you add all those analysis together, we could see oil prices push down lower. So I'm shorting oil through puts and looking to also purchase I already purchased, this is ultra short, so I purchased call options on these, on the SCO, ultra short, and I'll also probably buy the stock, and we could see as oil prices fall, we could see this push higher, the SCO. So this is how I'm trading oil. And yeah, so I hope this kind of clears up many things. I hope this is it's informative for you. And these are kind of my views as of today and going forward. It can change, and as it changes, I mention it in my private Discord chat room. And anything can happen in the market, so you have to be careful. If you're not a day trader, then many of these things maybe matter or don't matter to you. I don't know if they do. I believe that the overall picture, the bigger picture, does as a long-term investor. And as I mentioned, that the S&P 500, we could see a 10% correction, and it's a healthy correction. Something that we need to see after this huge, massive rally that we had. So possible that things could change, and we could see this continuing and it advancing. So as we did see from COVID all the way till now, this has been a massive, massive rally. And this was just the elections, and then boom, we pushed up higher. So can we see 4,000 in the S&P 500? Definitely. But I think right now we are in this bearish correction, which is healthy, which is needed. And we have kind of transitioned from many of the portfolio managers moving from tech to other stocks. And it's just how you get ready and how you play. It's good to have cash on the side and be ready for the opportunities. And these are kind of my views on the markets. And like I mentioned, it can change as new information comes by. Last but not least, I just want to talk a little bit about my website that I have here. If you are interested, you could sign up for the free Discord chat room we have here, and you get everything whatever I talk about when it comes to stocks, bonds, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrency. It's free, so you're not going to get everything. You're not going to. Some days I'll update it, some days I won't. And then there is a private member Discord chat room here, which I get more into details into investment themes, doing videos like this, podcasts, stock themes, bond themes, what to look out for in the future, commodity themes, forex currency themes, cryptocurrencies, bullish bearish trends, things that I see that are coming to reversal, any stock opportunities, options opportunities. So you can sign up here, and it also gives you the opportunity to ask me any questions. If you want me to even do like a video for you, if you're a private member, you get that as well. And if you want a one-on-one call or one-on-one video or Skype call or whatever, that's also included all in this premium member Discord chat room, this membership. So you just kind of sign up your information here and put in kind of your number here, and it is a subscription, so a monthly $30, which is $1 a day, and you help kind of support me and this platform that I'm creating. I do want to advance this platform into something better and bigger, and just to help for every trader or investor that's out there. And then we have also a yearly plan. You save 2 months off if you pay the $300 yearly, and you have the option to pay through card or PayPal. So all of this is here, and this is all in the kind of private Discord chat room, and I'm just going to screenshot it and show you here. Just give me a second. Take this. I'll show you what you get, what's in the chat room. So here I post, so in this part here, the news, I post everything related to news, thoughts on Bitcoin. Let's say Bridgewater, a very reputable hedge fund, giving its thoughts on Bitcoin and anything important I post here. Trading ideas, so here I kind of talk about any of my trade alerts and trading themes and investment themes. I post here. Then you have the InfraVest stocks. So again, this is all in the private member Discord chat room, and you talk about I talk about stocks here, which is anything that I see could be good long-term picks or short-term picks. I also mentioned the alerts here in the trading ideas. Then I also talk about bonds, like I said, the TLTs, TMF yields and everything, trades that you could do on ETFs or options. Commodities is another thing, like I mentioned about oil and SCO. You'll hear about my commodity ideas. Forex, currency like the dollar, the DXY, I talk about here, all for the private members. And this is all updated daily, live, and no delays as best as I can, because I am also trading the markets. So I post everything here. Crypto, I also talk about crypto. I do have a crypto report that I did launch out with 22 pages of amazing cryptos that are very cheap and that can blow up. And as I find more crypto gems, I post it here and I share it with the private Discord chat room. It's crazy because it's $30 a month, and some of these ideas really do fly out. And like, for example, the crypto reports, if let's say you pay $30 and you spend $1,000 on a crypto coin that I talk about, it's so easy to make 20x your money, which means you can take 1,000 into 20,000, and it's a joke for the price that I'm giving, the $30. So if let's say what I'm going to do is here, If you've watched this video, and I'm going to have this kind of deal for 1 week. So it's March 4th. This deal will end on I'll give you extra days, March 13th, okay? Or actually, let's say March 14th. This deal ends on March 14th, 2021. If you're watching this video and you've come to the end of here, I'm willing to give you the crypto report and the Discord chat room for $30. That's the monthly subscription. If you don't want the monthly subscription, then you can just pay $30 for the report, and I'll give it to you. You'll just email transfer me, and I'll give you the report. And after that, the price for that report will go up to $300, maybe even more, but that's the price right now. And if you are watching this, I would say that DM me if you're interested for $30, and I will just use the words I've watched the video, and at the end of the video you said that you'll give this report for $30, and then I'll give it to you. If it's after March 14th, then sorry, I can't. Maybe there's a new price on it, maybe there's a new discount on it. Just message me and I can let you know what's happening with that. But it's honestly, it's like, it's a joke. I don't know any other words to explain it, but it's really a joke because it costs nothing to see the opportunities that are out there. And a lot of people talk about, oh, I want to get into venture investing, meaning that I want to, always wanted to invest in Airbnb and Uber and stuff. Well, guess what? To invest in those things, you have to be a accredited investor. Now you don't have to be, and you can do it through crypto. And you can find those new hot cryptos that can give you 20 to 100x. So if you're interested, DM me. You have until March 14th. I'll give it to you for $30, and enjoy. And so yeah, I'll update any new cryptos for the members. I'll update here, put out a new video. I also did a video on cryptocurrency that has already paid and done very well for us. So that's there. InfraVest podcast. This is everything that I talk about when it comes to the markets, maybe in a voice format. Haven't done much on podcast lately because I've been busy, so I'll hopefully get to that soon. Community. This is just general related, fun stuff. You wanna post a photo that you're in, I don't know, Florida or something, you could post it there. It's just general community stuff. Profits chat room, that's all the chat room all about. If you made money and you want to share a lesson or something, or something that you're proud of, you could post it there. InfraVest lessons, this is key ideas and themes or basic knowledge on the markets, videos, stuff like that, which this video will go here. So I'll post that lesson here. And this is a great one, InfraVest research. I post Reuters research, everything, Bloomberg research, Wall Street Journal, anything that's exclusive, that is also institutional level, all goes into this InfraVest research page, and you get access to all that. I pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for streaming services, for information, for these institutional grade services, for financial information. I get all that information and I post it here in the research side, and I'm giving this all to you for $30. Again, it's a crazy discount. It's $1 a day. You're getting all of this for $30. And, I think it's crazy not to take advantage of this opportunity. Today it's $30. Later on, I may increase the price because I want to create eventually a web platform that will kind of automate some of these things and give you really, really high class information. Not saying that this is not high, good, valuable information. It is, but everything I'm doing is manually. So, and as I do that, the cost will go up, and the price of $30 will go up as well. So anybody who is in today at $30, in the future when this goes up, they will lock in their $30 a month and for lifetime until they leave. So that's what I just wanted to share about this Discord chat room. I wanted to discuss about and the website. Feel free. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention. These are all open chat rooms. The free chat room there's only 2 channels. I think it's crypto and stocks that are open. But in here, you're free to even post your ideas, talk about anything that you want, ask any questions, talk to other members, and share those ideas with other members. So, anyways, hope this was informative. Hope you got value out of this. And we do also have a Instagram page here. Please follow us, a Facebook page also. I should have taken you to another link, so I have to maybe fix that. So please do give us a follow there. Here, I really update this a lot, especially the stories, or I try to. There's also a Twitter page and a Facebook page that you could follow. Everything you can get on the markets, I'll post. Twitter I've been lacking on, Facebook also, but here it is. Facebook, same thing. Give us a like, a follow. And yeah, hope this was informative. Hope you got value out of this. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach me out and enjoy.